welcome to a very special edition of Bits.
We're going deep into the world of the latest game in the Tomb Raider series.
We'll bring you the lowdown on Lara Croft's darkest adventure yet, and we'll expose the ultimate revelation.
Beware, coward. Over the next half hour, Bits gets to grips with number 4 in the Tomb Raider series, the latest adventure for Lara Croft, the biggest star of the virtual world. We talk to the Dr. Frankenstein who created her and the flesh and blood model who plays her in real life. Along the way, we attempt to reveal exactly what has transformed a page from one man's sketchpad into the most famous adventure since Indiana Jones.
But first, get an eyeful of this!
Ooh, what is she getting into now? Letting loose the undeads more than even Agatha Christie could handle. Let's climb aboard this darkest of mysteries.
Before the third Tomb Raider was even near the shop shelves, plans for the fourth installment had already begun. First question on everyone's lips, what's the plot? You'd think that by the time they got to the fourth installment of the Tomb Raider series, all the plot lines would be used up. Yesterday's news, Rotten Tomatoes. But people are demanding interesting stories in their computer games, not just fodder for the bits and bytes in between.
The developers thought so too, so they decided to spice things up a bit, limit the game to one level. This would be large and detailed, and somewhere in Egypt. Lara hangs out with dead Egyptian dudes in their places of burial the whole time. Build in a backstory with a young Lara and introduce the concept of evil unleashed. So,
once upon a time, a little lady named Lara got it into her 16-year-old head that she wanted to go on an archaeological excursion.
our teensy prima donna convinced Mummy and Daddy to fund a trip across Cambodia with the famous Werner von Croy. Along the way, von Croy got greedy and lost his nose for danger. One treasure too many found him caught up in a particularly nasty booby trap. Young Lara left him for dead. Oops. Years have now passed, and hey, ain't she blossomed.
Apparently, Lara's been wearing the same outfit since she was 16. Well, it's shrunk and she's grown. Not a bad combination, eh, lads?
She's been hired anonymously to raid an unopened tomb. In she goes and straight over to the sarcophagus. Sounds a bit dodgy, but Lara's not frightened of big words. Isn't that what's called an amulet? Whatever, into the goodie bag it goes. What Crofty doesn't know is that after millennia of happy, clappy Egyptian days, she's gone and released the spirit of the ancient plague god Set. Oops again. What she doesn't know still is that Von Croy survived that nasty Cambodian escapade. And guess what? Lara's no longer the teacher's pet. Even worse, Croy boy's in town and he's got his eyes on that amulet. Mad God Set's got his eyes on Croy. Things are looking bad for the Larbar.
If you're looking for a revolutionary thought in a Penguin classic, you'll have to head to the library. But Last Revelation's good enough to pass the time. Core Design, the birthplace of Lara Croft.
It looks like an ordinary office. Could be the back room of any building society, but this is the office where every Tomb Raider's been created. It's easy to think of big ideas, but someone's got to piece them together. Research.
So you were responsible for hours and hours of frustration.
Yes.
Yep, right.
Yeah.
This is the person to talk to if you want to complain. What's your favorite part of the process?
A bit of everything really. Rocks are just a pain because they're so complicated, and to make something look organic requires you to do a lot of work in the editor, whereas to make a room, to make a tomb with columns in it, it's easy because it's symmetrical.
At 3 o'clock in the morning, right, and these rocks are staring you in the face, and all you want to do is just pack it in. What's the worst experience?
The worst experience is when you've just finished a room, you go to save it and it crashes, and the room's taken you 4 hours to build. Then you just want to get your keyboard, smack your monitor and run off.
Okay, so you've made yourself a wonderful first-person game here, but it's not the point, is it? Where's Lara?
Lara is next door with Joe.
You're the man who gets to play with Lara. Are you tired of looking at her?
Yep.
So show me a little bit about Lara. This is Lara completely without anything except the holsters, isn't it?
The nearest you get to nude Lara. This is one of the scenes which unfortunately didn't make it into the game. So this is just basically when she climbs up a wall face.
Wow.
This is one of the puzzles. When she solves a puzzle, she does get a little animation as a reward as such. So she's pushing up the lid and she reaches inside for a hidden item inside the box, the sarcophagus as such, and steps back. Simple 2-door one. She's opening doors now, which is for the first time in the game. So it's just to show this big, epic opening doors. It was a cool thing to come onto in Tomb Raider in the first place, but the workload is enormous.
So do you ever dream about Lara?
No.
Phew.
The last revelation is a return to the fleetingly frustrating, tension-filled, action-packed and puzzle-powered game that so many of us momentarily gave up our social lives for years ago.
Core have made a substantial overhaul. One of the most refreshing changes is the inventory. It used to be overcomplicated. Now everything is clearly visible and accessible. They've also added a new twist. You can combine your pickups. Top of the list is adding a laser sighting to your weapons. A quick twitch of the first person button and you're able to pick off targets with precision. No more wasting ammo.
The level design is altogether tighter than the previous two. The balance between action, adventure and puzzling is just right. Levels have been broken down into neater sections of a more manageable size, which means that you won't find yourself aimlessly wandering through huge environments in search of that last tiny elusive puzzle.
Overall, it's a classy game, despite the usual polygon folding and blocked moves. You get the freedom to explore and adventure with a well-balanced level of difficulty. Although the puzzles are not overly brain-taxing, they do demand timing and physical perfection. So being in full control of Lara is essential. And here's a tip. Keep an eye open for scratch marks on the floor and vases that don't break when you shoot them.
The lady herself is once again a pleasure to play, but the last revelation is the game that should have come out 3 years ago. Still, it is good to see the old girl back on form.
It all looks a bit too cushy for those Tomb Raider folks. Knock out a new adventure in time for Christmas, then it's drinks all round while the money gushes in. But it wasn't always like this. Time for a little history tour.
4 years ago in Derby, in the heart of Middle England, a little games company named Core Design was flagging thanks to some ill-advised expansion plans.
Then one Monday morning, a young artist walked in with an idea for a video game. It started out as an adventure featuring a man with a whip, but that would be Indiana Jones.
Girl with a whip seemed much better. After all, girl power was the buzzword of the day.
The game was Tomb Raider, and it went on to be the fastest selling game in history, knocking even Mario off his perch and injecting the gaming world with its first sex symbol. Arr.
Did all this pass you by?
So where the hoot the heck have you been?
Although dozens of people worked on each of the Tomb Raider games, the original concept was initially designed by one young artist at Core.
Unhappy with the way his Lara was being marketed from the very beginning, he left the company, turning his back on millions of pounds in royalties.
With 50 grand in his pocket and his creative independence restored, he was only 21 at the time. His name is Toby Gard. So, how could you walk away from the money like that?
I wasn't happy, particularly personally, with seeing a character that I'd made go out of my control. I really liked the idea of having someone who was just so aloof and untouchable, who was sexy but not in any way because she was trying. I feel sad. She's strayed from the path, you know. This is one of the first ever pictures of Lara. I drew it to pitch the idea to get it made.
She's much more girly.
Yeah, she is. And then this was like another character design that came afterwards where it was beginning to sort of go the right way facially and with the belt and the guns and stuff. And then it turned into what you already know.
Thank you very much. Brilliant. Can I keep them?
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
You PlayStation owners are twitching mad to be the first people with all the fancy moves, so we've left no stone unturned in our attempts to indulge you.
Press record now, because it's cheat time on bits.
When you're digging for the answer, you're 6 feet under and you still haven't struck gold, then skip through the game with a hop and a jump and you can claim to be first to have played it to the end. To skip a level, select load, press all 4 shoulder buttons and up. Now that will open a few doors.
You're light on hardware, but the end is within your reach. Don't get frustrated and throw it all away. Use this cheat to pick up all weapons and ammo. Now it's time to clean up. Select small midi-pack, hold down all 4 shoulder buttons and press up. Now that'll go down a treat.
Your night of gaming has got off to a tricky start and you have a score to settle with some ancient Egyptian undead. Don't get bogged down with fair play. Tip the balance with some serious goodies. Use this cheat to get all pickups in the current level. Select the large medi-pack, hold down all 4 shoulder buttons and press down at the same time. That's a juicy one. For all these cheats, face north within 1 degree.
Join us after the break for the Miss, the Models and the Movie Deals. Nowadays, third-person games where you can actually see the character are all over the shop. But when Tomb Raider first came out, there were few of its kind.
The first Tomb Raider was a revolution in gameplay. Funnily enough, it was launched on the Sega Saturn, but its big break came on the PlayStation a month later. Lara could then pack a double whammy of girl power and PlayStation fever just before her first Christmas. She shot to #1.
That fueled the fire for her next plundering installment, entitled Tomb Raider 2. This was nothing more than a good-looking expansion pack. With only 10 ridiculously large levels, this game was more action than quality adventure.
But some felt let down, and the cynicism towards Lara and the marketing machine that drove her was already setting in. Core were up against it for the 3rd installment in the life of the all-too-lovely Lara.
Things had changed. Lara was thrown into the deep end. Tomb Raider 3 was much harder than its predecessors, relying heavily on its multiple locations to get pulses racing.
It appeared that more time was spent on these and getting her costumes right rather than the most important element of any game, the gameplay itself.
No matter, it sold big. Some say too big. Some say she was too big. The game certainly took forever to complete, but it cemented Ms. Lara as the cyberstar that she is today.
For non-gamers, Lara Croft is quite possibly the most famous character in town. She's right up there with Nintendo's Mario and Sega's Sonic. But she's no plumber, and she certainly ain't no hedgehog. Girls want to be her, boys want to protect her. Born into aristocracy, she longed to be freed from the stuffy upper classes. When she refused to marry the husband of Daddy's choice, he just had to disown her. Whoever you are, she's pretty untouchable. But if she ever does tie the knot, just think of the offers from Hello Magazine. Right, enough of the biog. Let's take a look at her latest game role. She's looking good this time. They've given the edgy old girl a serious makeover. Now she's fully skinned from top to bottom, so there are no breaks around her joints. Smooth. They've also thrown in some new moves. Britney Spears, she is not. But she can crawl, sprint, climb up and around walls, shimmy up and down ropes, swing on them, swim and drive, baby, drive. Oh, that is an interesting pole slide. Just in case this super-duper Lara isn't enough for you, the boys in the Bachelor have thrown in a couple of extra non-playable characters. Apart from her mentor, Von Croy, there's the so-called love interest bloke, Jean-Yves. He's an old archaeological friend, but don't expect much X-Files-esque special chemistry here. This bloke's way too in love with his refrigerator for any serious hanky-panky. Looks like Ms. Croft will stay aloof and alluring.
Of course, Lara's sex symbol stage is where we hear the big ka-ching of the cash tills. This girl knows how to get around. The Lara phenomenon has become more than a never-ending series of games. She is a woman of many, many faces.
She's not just a fearless archaeologist, she's a doll, a beach babe, a girl racer, even a connoisseur of energy drinks. How seriously can we take her?
I had a wife write to me once who had found her husband's journal, and he was writing some fairly bizarre things in this journal, and she asked me if I would write to him just to kind of put the record straight that she doesn't exist.
Over my dead body.
Well, okay, so 1995,
Yep.
Lara Croft is just about to hit.
Mm-hmm.
Girl power is in the
Yeah.
offing as well. Was Lara just a vehicle to cash in on this?
I just think we were incredibly lucky, if I'm honest. I mean, and she just got sucked in this vacuum behind all this, the Spice Girls, the Tank Girl, the whole female kind of movement. The biggest breakthrough obviously was going on the front page of the Face.
You say that you've had to pull back from the risque. What's up with all these photographs out now?
Well, I know, but you know, to us, you take Laura's top off and there's just a wire frame behind it. She is as she is because she's a silicon babe.
From pixelated starlet to cover girl, Lara's gone from style Bible the Face to lads rag loaded. How does it feel to be on top?
Slippery slope. For a start, there's been a stream of human incarnations, complete with swinging ponytail and outsized boots. Although not the first Lara model, Rona Mitra became the world's most famous, desirable, no-nonsense cyber babe.
More tuneful than her predecessor, a musical career loomed as Rona teamed up with Dave Stewart of Eurythmics fame for Lara's pop star debut. The single was never released. Ta-ta, Rona.
Then it was Nell McAndrew's turn to clump around and look cool. She was by far the most popular of this gaggle of beauties, but when her contract ran out, she too was left in the cold until Cheery, Keith, Shaggers, Chegwin, and the It's a Knockout team gave her the offer of a lifetime.
Watch it, Nell. Here come the Belgians.
But who could replace such an all-round star as that? Cue Dutch lingerie model, conveniently christened Lara. Lara Weller, that is.
With modelling credits for lingerie and a leading fabric conditioner, who better to play the role of a hard-as-nails, intrepid adventurer?
Yeah, you're hanging out. This is what Lara does in her spare time.
Oh, lovely.
Well, have you had a lot of weird experiences as Lara Croft?
Oh, well, I've got some proposals.
Hey.
Will you marry me, Lara? Please marry me.
I mean, how do you feel, personally, being the ultimate schneeze of the trip?
Yeah.
The ultimate male fantasy. How does that feel? Does it freak you out at all?
No, it doesn't freak me. I don't really think about it that much, actually. It's just that people say to me, oh, you are this fantasy of all this man. I mean, it's Lara Croft, really. But, no, it doesn't really bother me, actually.
What's the hardest part of being Lara, then?
Well, doing backflips and stuff. I'm still practicing on that one.
Why do you think she's so popular? I mean, what does she represent to people that has made her such a big icon?
Because, I mean, she is as well like an idol for like women because she's so strong and independent. For men, of course, because she, you know, she's very sexy and got big boobs. And
can't deny that.
And she does all this stuff what men like to do, you know, racing bikes and shooting baddies and crocodiles. So, and women love her because she's so strong. She doesn't take any grief from anyone.
So what do you have that Lara doesn't?
Oh, I can make love and Lara Croft. I'm from flesh and blood and she is not.
Eat one of these, girl. Is
Isn't it time Lara let a fresh face into the hit parade?
Problem is, no serious contenders.
Let's have a gander.
There's Xena Warrior Princess. Interesting looks, but terrible game.
Lula Virtual Babe? She could play harder to get.
What about Joanna Dark from Perfect Dark? She's got the looks, the script and the action. But will Nintendo make us wait forever for this game?
Check out Rin from Draken. She's got the build and the graphics. She's even got the gameplay, the story and a dragon to help her. But this PC game needs a console before it can hope to hit the mainstream.
Come on, someone. Sing us a new one.
So, where is 5?
Where is 5? Probably in someone's head at the moment.
All right, so it's not in production yet.
It's, I think we wanted people to get to the end of Tomb Raider 4, which hopefully people will be nearly there at the moment, and see the ending from Tomb Raider 4. I expect to be a little bit shocked. Maybe she does wake up in a shower and it's all been a horrible dream, who knows. And they'll give us some time to actually look at where we can go with Lara Croft. They always say you should go out on a high, and maybe we go out on a high, who knows.
Perhaps this last revelation is the last we'll see of Crofty.
We here at Bits strongly suspect that IDOS are clearing the way for a brand new girl star in an attempt to stave off all the outside competition. Her name is Darcy Stern. The name of the game is Urban Chaos. Not bad, but it's not quite the end of our Lara Croft story.
Lastly, there's the matter of Tomb Raider the movie.
We can confirm that a first draft script has already been written.
But which lucky bird gets to play Lara? Liz Hurley, Pamela Anderson, or some unknown star of tomorrow?
Go on, let me audition.
They're your audition.
Come on, oh come on, Adrian.
Okay,
I've got to be Lara.
As long as I can be Jeeves.
All right, you can be Jeeves. All right, so where are we?
The bit where the tone-tanned and relaxed Lara jumps out of the swimming pool in her house, Croft Manor. Don't shoot, not before evening tea.
Sorry, Jeeves.
Oh, you're all right, miss.
There
you go.
Thank you very much. Do I get the part then? Do I get the part?
I think that would be down to Hollywood.
Damn!
If you're going to play this game, then you may need some handy tips. Here's the Bits guide to getting through that last revelation.
This game is heavy on puzzles, but sometimes the clues could be staring Lara right in the face. A case of can't see the wood for the trees. Or is it that dirty little boys are looking at her pert posterior? Take a tip from the girls. Keep your eyes fixed firmly on the horizon and you'll go far, my son.
I've got good news and bad. The bad news is that you can't beat everyone. The good news is that you don't have to. Sometimes you've got to admit that Lara would rather be at home with a cuppa than taking on a new breed of flesh-eating beetles. In the Tomb of Semerket, you may have a torch to stave them off, but remember this ain't no foray into the family attic. The best line of action to get rid of the pernickety little blighters is to run, run, run like the Dickens.
While crossing the desert, Lara may lose her weapons, health, and even her marbles. But whatever you do, don't let her abandon her Jeep. There's no radio, no air conditioning, no electric windows. But that old Jeep is quite simply essential to completing the KV5 level. It's time now for us Bits girls to reveal the last revelation. But if you want to play the game for yourself and you don't want to see the ending, then you must look away now. Okay, here it comes.
I can pull you to safety.
Good to see you again.
I couldn't leave